we're going to put together some more slice form cards. So I've got 4 different versions. We have a penguin, a koala, a kangaroo, and a Cupid gnome. These, I've changed the size of this from a 5x7 to an A2 card. The 5x7, it was becoming more tall than it was wide, and so I decided to adjust that, make that adjustment. So we're going to do like we did in the other video. I'm going to put together the base of one, and then we'll do the insert for each character. And again, this is an A2 card, so unlike the We Go Together Like, all of those cards are a 5x7, and these are all A2. So I'm just going to start by putting this accent piece on. Just like that. And then the next step, you have 3 of these semicircles that have the slits at the top, and you'll notice here on this piece the inserts have the slits on the bottom. Okay, so these slide in here, and they're, I'm going to put my cloud on first. Getting ahead of myself. Okay. So these are perfectly symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which one you place where. What you do want to be mindful of is that your card is facing where the other 2 slots are. The front of your card faces where these other 2 slots are. And this is a little bit thicker because I have, so what I'm doing now is I'm lining this up so that I can fold this forward, because I am going to glue this tab down. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Now I am noticing that because this cloud is, the slit comes up over it, that it is just a little bit tight, but it's workable. You just have to be a little patient with it. And again, if you just are lining this up exactly with the base, it should be in the right spot. I'm doubting that Okay, so we've got 2 of them in place. And now the third one. Just give it a good crease. This will help it when you close it too. Open and close it. Okay. So now that we have all of these in place, we're going to flip this over. And we're going to use this piece to cover those tabs. This also gives you a big writing surface. So I've done mine in white. I would suggest using a light color because that gives you a lot of space for writing your message on. Okay. All right, so there it is. And while we work on the other pieces, I'm going to slide this under my mat. Okay. Oh, we may as well go ahead and do this one. So this is the front slice. And I have the hearts separate so that if you don't want them, you don't have to include them. But I'm going to. And I'm just putting glue just here on the tip of the hearts. And I'm going to use this point and line it up right here, because that is the center spot. And that's that simple. And actually, if you are wanting to cover the tabs on the front, you don't want to put this on yet. Can you believe I get so far ahead of myself? So I'm just going to let that dry because we'll be covering that up. Sorry about that. Okay, so our gnome. The bigger of the two hearts goes on his arrow. And I am just going to go ahead and put his hands on. And it's the two smaller ovals. Okay, so there's his bow and arrow. Now, you want to put the wings and the cloud on before you build your gnome. Well, they're part of your gnome. The wings are. But you want to put these down first. And put your cloud on. So now you just want to slide this up until it's matching on the sides. just like that. Okay. His beard lines up just to the bottom. And his face here, you're just going to match that right up. You'll see that it just matches perfectly at the top of his beard. Just go ahead and put this on before you put his beard on. I'm wondering if I want to use any pop dots. And I think I will grab my squares. If I have any left. Where'd that go? Okay, so again, you're just going to line that up towards the bottom, just kind of center it. You just have to eyeball that. And we will have to pop up his hat. Oh. Just want to make sure I've got that lined up first. There we are. And then his beard. That's a mustache. And there'll just be a little bit of the face showing through. And his nose. And the heart. It's hard to put it on because I've got it popped up. I should have put all these pieces on before I put the foam tape. There he is. And I think I have circles small enough that I can pop up his bow. I think these will fit just right behind his hand. Perfect. I got these on Amazon. Was a pretty big pack. Now for sizing, you don't want anything to go beyond the wings because when it folds flat, the wings are the widest width that this piece can be and stay at the A2 size. So that's him. He's the most, I think he has the most pieces. Now I've got our penguin. So again, we're going to start with a cloud. Part of the face just lines up to the sides, goes straight down. I'm going to put the glue directly on his face where I want his nose to be. Flip it over. Darn it. I tried a bigger nose, but I didn't like it, so I left it small. I think it's just cute. And his little feet. My other, there it is. So these are the penguin's little hands. It's their fins. Okay. And there is a reason why I am not gluing this to the base yet, and that's because I think I want to pop it up. Oh. Better just put these in the center. And then we have our bow. And I don't remember if I already said it, but if you wanted this to be a boy, you could just not include the bow. I hope it's big enough for this one. Just barely. And then we're going to put that on the base. Whoopsie. Let's see if I want that popped up. I don't think this needs to be popped up. I have to line that bow up, so I'm going to put this all together first. There we are. Now we've got our koala. Start with the cloud. You've got several little pieces to put together before you start assembling your koala. You'll want to just get all your little pieces together. So you've got his head and you have his feet. And his little heart. And his hands just fit right here in the curve at the top. bow together. Okay. Now, there are little inserts to his ears here. And I want to see where I want them to go, so I'm just going to hold the head on. You want these to be underneath. Okay. Like that. Then you can put the head on. You want to put the feet on before you put the heart. If you're going to pop the heart up, you want to put the feet on first. And I do want to pop the heart. There we are. So I will use two bigger ones for the heart. And I think maybe I'll glue this down before I put that on, because when you've got foam tape, it's hard to put all the pressure on that you need. There we are. Then I need a put a big one on that side, and then a small one. You just want to make sure that your foam tape is not hanging over the edge, because you don't want it sticking your card down where it's not supposed to. Isn't that sweet? And now the kangaroo. Okay, so the kangaroo's hands are the same as the koala's in that they fit right here at the top. Okay, just like that. You also have the piece that goes behind the face. It's a little bit smaller than the headpiece. That's by design. Then you have the little accent piece. Okay, now let's put our cloud on. After you put the cloud on, put on the tail. And I'm going to go ahead and put his head on. And this does act as the inside of the ears. So if you use the same color, you may want to ink it so that you have some definition. Then we're going to glue this in place. And I'm going to pop the heart again with foam hearts. Just line the point of that right there with that point. And there is your kangaroo. Almost looks like she needs a bow. Okay, now we're going to pull out our base. If I can find it. And we're going to put this piece on. Whoops. This should line right up to the bottom. Now, it's not necessary to glue these down if you don't want to. It's not necessary. So if that's a step you want to skip, it doesn't affect the size of the card. The card will be the same size. Okay. For me, I like it because I think it gives the card a more finished look, but that's just for me. But you will just want to make sure that you've got that crease really good. And I think I'm going to do these both while my card is folded shut. Fold it both ways. Give it a good crease. There we are. Now I'm going to put the cover on. Just going to pinch this really tight. Make sure it gets stuck down well. Stick my finger in between. Just really get that secured. Now the hearts can go on. If you don't want to cover those outer pieces, and you can see where to line this up by the center tab, you can see it there. So if you're not stuck on something, if you're not going to finish the front like this, then the point when I glued them on is when they need to be glued on. So now you've got your center slit. Let's do the koala. And you're just going to slide your last piece in. And you'll know it's in all the way when it's level on the bottom. That should be level. And it's snug. You want it to be snug so that your card doesn't fall apart. And there it is. This one's the koala. Thank you for joining me.